What's going on, guys? Ryan O'Toole back here again, giving you guys another collaboration. That's right, welcome to part 2 of my Alien series of reviews leading up to Alien Covenant on May 19th. Last time I reviewed Alien, the 1979 movie with Anthony from SilverScreen Analysis, and now we're back talking about Aliens. And Anthony, welcome back to my channel, and I'm excited to talk Aliens with you. Anthony, say what's up.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me once again. I had so much fun talking about the first movie, and this movie's just as great as that one, so it's going to be another fun conversation. I'm ready to dive into it.
I'm ready too, man. I just watched this movie this morning, and I have so much to say about this classic right here. So, as you guys know, just like Alien, this is spoiler-filled. So, if you have not seen Alien or Aliens, all I gotta say to you is, why are you watching movies? Like, what are you even doing? Go see Alien and Aliens as soon as you can. These are spoiler-filled. So, Aliens is not directed by Ridley Scott this time. It's now directed by James Cameron, another one of the best directors working today. This one came out in 1986, and it, of course, had Sigourney Weaver return as Ripley, and you had a completely new cast besides her. You got Paul Reiser, Bill Paxton, Lance Henriksen, and Carrie Hine as the little girl. The plot of Aliens is really basic. You have Ripley, as you know, she was on the spaceship after Alien, except she wakes up 50 years later. A crew finds her. She's been in hydrosleep for many years, and she's brought into this new army. These soldiers are going into war against the xenomorphs. They bring Ripley in as an assistant to help these soldiers fight the xenomorphs. And watching Aliens again, Anthony, I gotta say, I like this. Maybe, it's hard to pick if I like this more than Alien. They're both such great movies. Aliens just blew me away again watching it. Especially, it came out 30 years ago. Anthony, what was it like for you watching Aliens again?
Yeah, it was, like you say, it's shoulder to shoulder with Aliens. I think they're both fantastic movies. I think they're both fantastic movies for different reasons. They were much more self-aware by the time this sequel came out. Everybody knew the success of Aliens. This one went the action route with the full, just over-the-top, spectacle of all the new weaponry and just much more larger scope. It wasn't just locked into the confines of the Nostromo. They took it out. It really had that James Cameron Terminator 80s sci-fi feel to the special effects to it. It was very similar to that, and they went for it, and I think it works. It works on several different ways that Alien the first one didn't work, but it's a fantastic movie. It's a great action movie, great sci-fi movie, and it still has some of those horror elements into it.
Yes, absolutely. So without further ado, guys, Anthony and I just going to go through the positives of this movie, which there are a lot. So, Anthony, let's start, of course, with the performances in the movie. Sigourney Weaver as Ripley, she's even better in this movie. And if you guys know, she was nominated for Best Actress for this movie. Like, jeez! Sigourney Weaver being nominated for Best Actress in an action movie. That's insane. And it's so deserving because she's so more fleshed out as Ripley. She's more stronger, more confident as a hero. She has a great relationship with Newt, the little girl. She's great in the action sequences, and she's just a great character in general. And just to see her blossom in this movie is just so great. And what are your thoughts on Ripley this time around, Anthony?
Yeah, I think Sigourney Weaver as Ripley was excellent. She takes that character to the next step that it needed to. She was that full-on action heavyweight, action lead star. She's like a take no crap attitude. She knows what happened in the first movie, so when all these guys are trying to tiptoe around what's happening and they want to send people out to this place and they don't believe her when she's trying to tell them what happens, she's not timid about letting her feelings be known. It just makes her like one of those great action stars in a different way. She doesn't take any crap, so a lot, that's her strong action lead as compared to other stars who use the one-liners and stuff like that. But she did it in a different way, and it worked perfect for this movie. And at the same time, we get to see that soft side of her with the little girl that's left behind. She has that motherly figure to her, and she really opens up and really shows more emotions in those scenes, but then immediately it can change on a dime and get right back into the intensity. And this was the role that I think really made her character one of the iconic ones.
Yes, I agree. She's one of the best heroes, action heroes of all time, just from this movie in general. To see her get nominated for an Oscar is just mind-blowing, and she's absolutely deserving of it. So let's talk about the action sequences, because Anthony, you kind of mentioned it earlier. Alien was more of a suspenseful horror sci-fi. This one's straight up action, and it's James Cameron. I mean, this man directed Avatar, Terminator 1 and 2, and Titanic. That's not an action movie, but he directed that. James Cameron, I really love what he brought to Aliens. Just his own style, not Ridley Scott's, but having the xenomorphs in it, but just having a suspenseful action movie through different locations that are dark and not bright. It's so great. This is one of the best action movies ever made. Anthony, what are your thoughts overall on James Cameron stepping in to direct?
I think it was a perfect blend. I think he was able to take Ridley Scott's first film and really expand it into an action movie extremely well. He, built, once again, he held true with the practical effects, like the cars that are driving around on all these big sets. It really pulls you into the settings. You get the grand scope of things. You can feel the ominous, just the harsh ramifications of the weather climates around him. And he was still able to use the confines of just tight corridors and the ships at the same time. And like the first Alien, like we were saying in that review, it was kind of like Jaws with a lot of the shadows and kind of letting it build up a lot of your own anticipation of what it's going to be. This one didn't do that. We get to see a lot of it, and all of the xenomorph was just excellently used in this movie. The practical effects were solid once again on that one, and more is sometimes not better, but more was better in this one.
Yes. Let's talk about some of those action scenes in the movie. One of my favorite action scenes in the movie is the shootout with all those xenomorphs. They're locked in there. It goes automatically red, and all those xenomorphs are up in the ceiling, and they're dropping down. Just love that scene in general. It's so gritty. And also the scene of Ripley and Newt being trapped in that room with the face hugger. It's so good. The action in general, the final showdown, which we'll talk about later. The action's so good. It's James Cameron's style of action, and I love that.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I thought those action scenes were fantastic, and I think another action scene that really stuck out to me, one that really kind of built some good tension, was earlier on when they're kind of first probing around on the LV base, and they're basically told that they can't use their weapons. They have to stick to fire attachments only, and it really and you don't know what's going to happen. I thought that was a great scene, and I just thought all those characters were just perfect action people for that time period. You had Michael Biehn was fantastic. Bill Paxton was great. Lance Henriksen was also just excellent as the android. I thought everybody did a fantastic. Paul Reiser was fantastic, and it was a good pace of just storytelling with doses of action, and I liked it. It was a great package of everything.
And now, stepping from the action part, let's talk about something I also really loved about this movie. We talked about it earlier. It's the relationship between Ripley and Newt, the little girl. We find Newt in that base. She's running around, scared. Looks like her parents were dead. And it's cool seeing Ripley and Newt's relationship. With Newt, you can see Ripley's never had that motherly figure before. Apparently, I heard in the special edition or something that Ripley used to be a mother or something. But I didn't watch the special edition. I watched the theatrical version on Blu-ray, and it was in Chris Stuckman's review or something. But I really love Ripley and Newt's relationship. It's so sweet, so charming. Ripley's more of a human in that aspect. It's so sweet to see that. What were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. If I remember correctly, I believe she was saying that she was from the original film, she was supposed to be getting back to her daughter's 11th birthday, and her daughter was pretty much grown and passed, and she was missed out on all that stuff, and she's pulled into this situation, and then at the same time she gets that chance that she kind of feels like she just missed out on, and being a mother, and she tries to she weaves both of those dynamics of her character extremely well. It was just really great to see her be just hard and just totally take no nonsense attitude in 1 minute, and then when she just completely opens up with this girl, I think they had a great chemistry with one another. And other than Newt's screams when she first has that one scene, that elongated scream she had, that a couple bouts of overacting, but I think she did a great job too. I mean, she felt very just grounded, and they really worked extremely well with each other, and I actually liked some of those more slower moments that they had.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there's also some other characters we mentioned earlier. I love the other crew. You said Bill Paxton, Paul Reiser's an unlikable character. He was great. And just the whole crew in general, seeing all those soldiers, their personalities, just like in the first Alien movie. Especially Bill Paxton. I love that scene when they're putting the knife through his fingers and all that. That scene was really funny.
Yeah, I agree. I like the characters in this one. I mean, just like the first one did, where you were able to see little bits of their personality, and it worked for that aspect of it. This one, we get lots more personality. We get a lot more banter, and a lot more eccentricities in the differences of the personality. I really liked Jeanette Goldstein as Private Vasquez. She had some really just classic 80s movies lines. There was just a great banter amongst them that was like kind of a nice addition that you didn't get as much of in the first movie.
Yeah, I agree. Just seeing all those characters interact, it's just so good. And now I got to talk about the finale of this movie. The butter, the cream and butter of it all, the final battle with the Queen Xenomorph. Oh my god, that creature's so awesome. And seeing Ripley kick ass with the flamethrower, so awesome. And then it had the same ending as Alien after watching it again. Because when Ripley leaves, think the alien's gone, and it's in there, and just the whole final battle of her getting in the machine and saying, "Get your hands off of her, you bitch!" Oh my god, I love that final scene.
Yeah, I agree. That was a classic moment when that bay door raises up and she's standing in that loader ready to go. It's one of those classic movie moments that'll always be remembered, and it was well shot too. I thought the camera work was pretty good. It wasn't over edited. It used just great angles, and it was just a perfect seam of everything. It was one of those, like you said, just in the first film where you kind of think it's over, then you get that dip, and it's like, yeah, one more little showdown. And this one was one of the more climactic ones, because I'll always remember her standing inside that loader and using that thing to kind of just grab it by the head, and it's slamming out, and it's confined at the same time. It was awesome. Yes.
And just like last time, I have no negatives with this movie at all. How?
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you were to try to, like you were saying in the Alien movie, if there's something to nitpick about it being not a perfect film, if 2.5 hours was a slightly long run time, but if any movie uses up every minute of it, this one certainly does. That's the problem. If they tried to make this movie nowadays, it probably would be cut about 15 minutes or so, I think. But the fact that it was, they fully went for all the spectacle in the mid 80s with this one, it was awesome.
Yes, awesome. All right. So, overall, you guys know Aliens is a fantastic movie, a classic. I love this movie from start to finish. James Cameron's direction, the action, just this movie is just as good as Alien. If I were to pick one, I would say I liked Alien a tad bit more, but they're both great. Anthony, what are your final thoughts?
Yeah, I'd have to say I'd give Alien just the slight edge, but this one's extremely fun to go back and watch. They're both fantastic for their own individual things that they deliver. They're two of the most memorable, science fiction, horror, action movies from the era, and this is always going to be one of the all-time great sequels, regardless.
Yes, totally. So, on my rating scale, Aliens absolutely gets a 5 out of 5 stars. And Anthony?
Yeah, I have to agree with you again.
Yes. Alright guys, that was our spoiler-filled review for Aliens. Have you guys seen this classic? And if you haven't, seriously. Let me know your guys' thoughts and opinions on the movie down below in the comments. Thank you, Anthony, once again for joining me for Aliens. This is a lot of fun. I'm having a great time talking about these movies and seeing them again. And so next time, guys, look out for our Prometheus review, which is now going to be on Anthony's channel once that time comes. We're very excited. As well, we're doing a spoiler-filled discussion on Alien Covenant on his channel too. So thank you again, Anthony, once again. Tell my subscribers once again where we can find you on social media.
Yeah, once again, thanks for having me. You can find me on Twitter at YourCinemaGuy, Facebook, SilverScreen Analysis. You can find me on YouTube at SilverScreen Analysis. Come check it out. Let's talk movies. And yeah, get ready for the Prometheus and Alien Covenant talk. It's going to be a good time.
Yes. Alright, thank you guys as always for watching this collaboration. And if you guys liked it, give it a thumbs up. And be sure to subscribe today for more content. All my social media links are in the description down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!